Hi, friends. Welcome to the Talented Creators Collaboration, hosted by DIY with Aria, Lolly D's Creations, guest host Lady Red Crafting, and co host Our Gray House. Links to all the hosts and a playlist will be in the description box. Okay, so let's put together a spring planter box. I have two picket fence shape signs I found at Family Dollar. They have a really nice thickness to them. I thought these would be perfect for this project. I have 4 crates from DollarTree. Elmer's Pro Bond Max wood glue. I actually found this at Dollar Tree. This was a really awesome find. I've got some wood filler, white paint, craft sticks. I don't know if I will be using this, but the 3-piece spring word signs from Dollar Tree, spring bunny and welcome. I've got my blade knife and my little bypass snippers. So to get started, my vision for this is to have my boxes like side by side like this, but I'm gonna have to break down one wall to get, or a wall on each side for these, to get these together. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my blade here and score so that I could get my outside edge taken off. And it shouldn't be too hard. And then I can reuse these for another DIY. And then I started to score the inside so that it would be easier to pull that outside piece off in one whole piece, because this wood does kind of splinter up because it's not that thick and there's like layers to it. And so each piece I had to score inside and out. And then there's a little like lip on the outside edge too that you have to score as well. And I just try to take my time to just kind of cut through it slowly and stay in a straight line as much as possible so that the next piece could be glued on and it would have, a straight line to be joined to. Didn't always work out because, these Dollar Tree boxes are not all the same size. But I just tried my best to try to make a straight line, and then I end up taking my sanding block and just sanding them down so that they could be a nice smooth fit. And when you're doing your scoring, please try to be more careful than I was, because I did end up slashing my finger. So I took large craft sticks from Dollar Tree to cover the handles for each box. And I'm just going to attach these on the inside with hot glue. So now to get the planter box assembled, I'm adding my Elmer's wood glue to the edge of the boxes. And then once I get them all pressed together, I'm going to go back with some additional craft sticks to add like mending plates on the bottom and the sides. After several hours of my glue setting up, on all the joint areas, I added wood filler so the joints would be extra strong and help to hold the piece together. And then for the areas where the handles were, I'm using just spackle because I didn't have enough wood filler, and I figured that this spackle would go on smoother. And this is the type that once it's dry, it turns white. Now for the fence pieces, I'm just double checking that these are the same size. And I'm going to mark with my ruler about 1 inch up. This is where I'm going to attach the actual planter box. And I didn't want it to just sit at the bottom. I wanted it to have a little interesting look to it. So I thought that if I placed it just a little bit higher up on the fence pieces, it would have a much nicer appearance. So I started adding my glue. I figured I might as well let my glue for the fence pieces and all that spackle set up and dry around the same time. So once they were finished, I could just go ahead and paint and move on to the final step. So after several hours, I decided to go ahead and sand down the joint areas, and I let the spackle set up for a little bit longer before I started to add my white paint. So once all my paint dried, I just was not happy with the areas that I spackled over. So I decided to just add more spackle to each side, and this did prolong the time of the completion of my planter box, but I just wanted to be totally happy when I looked at it. So now that all the areas have been filled in more and they're dried, I'm going to sand them down and add more white paint. And then once the white paint dries, I'm going to add light mocha and antique white with a chippy brush from Dollar Tree. So once everything dried, I'm going to use Spring from that 3-pack of galvanized words from Dollar Tree, and I'll attach this with the super glue fix-all glue that Dollar Tree sells. This is a permanent glue, and I've had no issue with anything that I've used this on. It has worked very well for me. And once I let my words set up for several hours on my planter box, I'm going to add a piece of hula skirt from Dollar Tree to fill in my box. If you have like the faux Easter grass, that would be just as beautiful. But what I have on hand is my hula skirt, so that's what I'm going to use as a filler. It's a nice neutral filler. And then I have several colors of the flocked Easter eggs from Dollar Tree, the large eggs. So I'm going to nestle those into my hula skirt, and then I have one of the little wind-up chicks. I think those are just so adorable, and I'll add that in as well. And here is my completed spring garden fence planter. I absolutely adore this. It took me a bit longer than I initially expected to complete it, but I am so happy with the final result. Let me know, what do you think of this? Okay, so that's going to do it for me, but don't forget there is a playlist. I'll have a link in the description box. I hope you have a wonderful spring.